Hello, my name's Kevin Delaney. I am head professional here at Faden Boyce Golf Club. Through the month of March, we're going to be going through different areas in your bag. We're going to do driver, irons, pitching and putting to help you with your game. So today we are talking about driver and how to hit it further. Remember guys, if you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so that you know when these things are going on, and please feel free to leave any comments down below. Right, so today we are out on the practice field and we're going to be hitting a few drivers, and I'm going to be helping you make sure that you hit the ball a little bit further and give you a couple of drills and tips and things to help you with your game. Now, there's three specific areas that we're going to be looking at. So the first one is the quality of the strike. Now it's really important when you're hitting your driver, and I know that this sounds like an obvious thing to say, but that you hit the middle of the golf club. Now they can make drivers more forgiving, which they have done over the years. Certainly the new modern stuff is far better than what it used to be, but there is a big impact if you miss the middle of the golf club. So if you're hitting some toe shots and some heel shots, that will have an impact on your game. And there's a couple of drills and tips to help you so that you can make sure that you're hitting the center of the golf club. Now if you go into your local pro shop and ask very nicely, they'll give you some impact tapes, which I put on my driver there. This is going to allow you, when you hit the ball, to be able to see exactly where on the club face that you hit it. And then if you start to see some patterns within your game, you've then got something to work on. So if you're consistently seeing that you're hitting the ball out of the toe, or you're consistently seeing that you're hitting the ball out of the heel, just something simple in order to make sure that you hit the middle of the golf club to maximize the possible distance that you can hit. Right, so I've got driver set up, I've got ball there, I've got my driver, I'm going to hit the shot and see exactly where I hit it. Okay, so not a bad strike, but definitely a little bit on the toey side of the shot. So what can I do to make sure that I find the middle of the golf club? I'll give you a quick tip. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I've set the ball up so the ball's on the tee, and I've just put the head cover for the driver just slightly on the inside of where the ball is. So there's plenty of room there. But for me, as I'm swinging, I'm now, put that a bit tighter, I've now got a visual, something that I'm trying to avoid. Now it's far easier when you're teaching, working with people, to say don't hit that, avoid that, than say, oh, what you need to do is this and this. If I put something in the way, something on the inside that doesn't really matter, so there I've used a head cover, you could use a bottle of water or something like that, but then try and make a shot and avoid the object. So let's have a go. Yeah, and you can see there, strike getting closer towards the middle of the golf club. Now, put something on the inside. So if I'm consistently seeing that I'm hitting heel strikes, it can be worked to put something on the outside of the ball to make sure that, again, that you avoid it, so that you bring the golf club in as you're making the swing. So if I set up there, the target's the object's on the outside, back through, and again, it's just feedback, constant feedback, to make sure that you're hitting the ball from the right spot. And definitely if you're consistently hitting the middle of the golf club, you're going to make sure that you make better swings, better shots, and gain distance, and that's really important. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to look at is angle of attack. Now really important when you're trying to maximize distance. So first of all, it was quality of strike, and then the next thing is going to be angle of attack. Now, what you're looking for to maximise the driver distance that you can hit is to be able to launch the ball nice and high, but with a minimal amount of spin. Spin is, like backspin, is going to take distance off of the shot. So the more that you spin the ball back, you're going to reduce distance, and obviously there's an optimal number there that you will need a certain amount of distance to get the ball in the air. So if you're a weaker player that doesn't generate as much club head speed as others, a bit of backspin is going to help to get the ball in the air. But if you're a stronger player, then backspin is going to take away from the total distance that you can possibly achieve. Now I always describe this to people when I'm working with them, is it's kind of like what you want to think of is hammer and nail. So if my golf club is the hammer, and here I've got an alignment stick, and I'll call that the nail that I'm trying to hit, what you're trying to do is be able to get the optimal distance to be able to deliver that golf club, to hit that nail, to push it as far forward in the most efficient way possible. So assume that you set this alignment stick up, and say an optimal number might be about 15-degree launch angle, so it's about this. So your driver, like my driver there's 10.5, it's set slightly down, so it's about 9.75. So I need to be able to, if I want to achieve a sort of 15 degree launch, that the dynamic loft of the golf club is going to be at 15 degrees at impact. So let me explain that. The shaft will flex on the golf club, so at impact it's going to bend that way and increase the loft of the golf club. So if your 9-degree driver, or like 9.75 this is set to, is going to flex at impact to increase the loft. And the greater the swing speed, the greater the flex. So that's going to happen, but also you need to have an ascending blow. So if I were to deliver the golf club in that fashion, so there's the ball, and then you hit down on it, what's going to happen is that. So that shot that you see often where you sky it or catch the top of the golf club is inevitably because your angle of attack is too steep, that as you hit down on it, it's going to put a lot more backspin on the ball and send it higher. Also, the same thing will happen if you don't do it. As you come in the golf club, you hit up on it too much, that you're going to do that, and then that's going to low, you're going to decrease the spin rate too much, and then the club's just not going to, or the ball's just not going to fly. So what you're trying to do is make sure that that club is coming in, delivering at about 14-15 degrees to push that nail or the alignment stick there in a straight line. Now if you're using a launch monitor, or you've got access to equipment like that from your local golf pro, then that will give you that number so that you know what you're launching the driver at, and it's really quite important. But you've got to have that in mind. So what you're trying to do is make sure that as you swing through, that you're hitting up. Now, like I say, this is sort of a roughly 9-10 degree driver, so with dynamic loft, I'm probably looking to swing up by about 4 or 5 degrees after impact or through impact, that the club's going to have an ascending blow on it. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and hit a shot. So again, it's very much the case that you're trying to feel like you're hitting up. I'm coming through. Not necessarily, you don't want to be scooping and trying to hit in that fashion, but it's strike the ball and hit up on it to maximise distance. And there. Now, if there's something that you find that you struggle with, and you want to increase the sensation of striking up on it to increase your angle of attack, like we use the head cover and put it in the way when we were trying to minimise or reduce toe shots and heel shots, putting it in the way in front of the ball. So again, you know, mentally you're saying to yourself, what I'm trying to do is avoid that object that's in the way. So you're trying to swing through, strike the ball, get the club through up without hitting the head cover. So again, that feeling, up and through, strike through, not hitting the head cover. If there's a descending blow, you will strike that head cover. Okay, so we've looked at centeredness of strike, and we've looked at delivering the club so that it comes in at an ascending blow. Now the third thing that's going to help to increase distance is to increase club head speed. Now this is probably the harder one of the three to do. So one thing that you can do is look for to increase the lag or whip of the golf club. Now, I've done a video a few months ago where I talk about shallowing a golf club out. You can look back at that if you want. But this is a simple way to help to increase lag and whip, and that's going to get the golf club coming through with greater force and deliver it to the ball so that you can hit it further. Now, one thing that I get people to do, I think the concept of shallowing the golf club and increasing lag and whip can be difficult for some people to understand. So it's more about generating some feelings, something in their swing that they can relate to, and then bring through to when they hit the ball. One drill is simple. It's just some one-handed swings. So I would get an individual, so here we go, right-handed shot, to hold the club in their left hand, and then get the feeling, get to the top of the backswing as they would do, turn their body through so that the club's sort of behind them there, and then follow through like that. So it's a couple of swings where you just feel yourself going there, and take a couple of shots like that. Now lag and whip, you know, what you got to think, I'd relate it back to, imagine that you've got a tea towel and you're trying to get that sort of crack sound. That's what you're going for, you know, that kind of action. So it's a left-handed swing, back, throw, back, throw. Then put two hands on the club, but very much feel the same thing. So you're increasing the club head speed as you're doing that. Put that with the other things that we've worked on there, making sure that centeredness of strike and angle of attack are right. So, you know, put centeredness of strike, angle of attack correct, and then make sure that you're trying to get that little bit of lag, little bit of whip into the shot. And there. Listen guys, I hope that helps with your game. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave any comments down below. We are going to be doing a series of driver swings and different things that you can work on in your driver this week. Next week's going to be irons, chipping and putting and so on. So make sure that you hit the bell notification so that you know when these things are going live.